a race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Oh boy.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 5.
Welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 5. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynor, and it has been a hot, sweltering, overwhelming day when it comes to temperatures, but those temperatures continue to stick around into the rest of our work week as well. There is some relief we're looking forward to in the future, but honestly, what we're experiencing right now is just that extension in those advisories and warnings that are still in place, warnings encompassing a larger portion of North Mississippi. We'll discuss that here in just a few moments, but needless to say, you're going to hear hot a lot during this show. So when will that heat end exactly? We'll be walking through that time frame and when there will be some slight relief with those temperatures going forward. And speaking of relief, is there any chance of that in the form of rain showers? We're walking through rain chances as well. So a lot to discuss and a lot of hopefully good news for some people, but it's not going to be too much for a lot of North Mississippi. Getting a live look outside in Greenwood, 97 feels like 108. So that's why those heat advisories and those extreme heat warnings are in place for this afternoon. Just a result of those feels like values being 105 plus and really 110 plus for a lot of locations. You're seeing some of that cirrus cloud high up in the sky, but that does little to nothing for that sunshine. So that sunshine still reaching the ground, but what it is doing is it's showing that this is still a moist atmosphere, still dealing with that moisture, and that mugginess is what's adding to those temperatures, making those feels like values so much more miserable. So across the region, I mean, Blue Springs showing us blue skies, perfect fitting picture there, but 95 feels like 104, and this is in the far northern part of the state, so it's going to be hot and muggy no matter where you are. Temperatures right now across the region, we're talking 94 Tupelo, 97 Water Valley and Grenada, 99 in and around New Albany. I had some folks submit pictures up and around Boonville, and it was their car temperature of 106, and so while car temperatures do tend to overestimate the temperatures outside, still 95 right now, feels like 106, I'm sure, with those heat indices, but it just shows you it is a hot forecast no matter where you go. Even in the car, can't escape it. 111 in Iuka for heat indices. So those excessive heat, or should I say extreme heat warnings that got issued over the Tennessee state line last night. Shout out National Weather Service for seeing that because it was definitely a possibility. And folks in Iuka, folks in Tishomingo County and all across the Tennessee state line got more of an alert. And while you might see it as just an advisory or a warning, what it means is that the warnings are people more susceptible to the heat, and so we need to prepare even more. If you're drinking 2 bottles of water, drink 3. If you're staying in the air conditioner 3 hours out of the day, let's do 4. Like just frequent breaks and a lot of hydration is essential to beat this heat and this just uncomfortable forecast. Here's a look at the extreme heat warnings that are in place for tomorrow. Everyone but Attala County. that's who's going to see the extreme heat warning for all of North Mississippi through 8 p.m. on our Wednesday. So that's the main story going forward with very little rainfall. We talked yesterday that some models were hinting at some moisture returning by Wednesday. This is evidence that that moisture, that chance, just basically died away. That heat smothered it, just like it's smothering us here in North Mississippi. So not going to see too much relief. And who do you want to blame for that? Well, none other than North Alabama, hogging all of the rainfall. You can see those showers highlighted across 65 through Hazel Green and Huntsville, just basically keeping it away from us, going over the past, let's say 3 hours. And you can see how those showers develop by mid-afternoon, and now we're in late afternoon, and still that same boundary that it's following, that's what we're going to see. We talked last night about a heat dome that's in effect, and what that is a dominant high-pressure system that's keeping the heat and keeping the clear conditions around. So the reason why this is forming right on the outskirts of northeast Mississippi, or the east side of North Mississippi, should I say, is because that heat dome is basically right here. We're on the outskirts of that, and so we're not going to get any of that moisture moving in except for some of our residents over there in northwest Alabama. So just a stretch of the imagination to get any rainfall, which means very little relief. So where's our relief coming from? Well, maybe some patchy clouds, but this is the extent of the cloud cover. And satellite imagery has looked exactly this way all day long. So very little cloud cover, more of it being those isolated cumulus clouds or way high up in the sky with those cumulus clouds that do little to nothing for that sunshine. So sunshine still getting to the surface, warming up the atmosphere, and that little bit of moisture we have making those feels like values feel very miserable. So that's what we're really expecting for the first 12. It's just those hot temperatures to stick around for 6, 7, even towards 8 o'clock as that sun starts to set, and then we'll see those temperatures drop just a bit, but not a significant amount. Still, by tomorrow morning, we're going to be in the upper 70s, which is above average, setting the scene for another above average day, unfortunately. So there's that low that we're watching, and this is something that we'll watch for rain chances further into our weekend, but that high pressure out in the Gulf that we have right now, circulating in a lot of that dry air, that hot air that we've been getting, pushing in a lot of that air from Texas and out there towards the Mid-South. That's why it's so hot and dry, is because it's bringing in the circulation. Well, I'll just draw it out for you rather than motioning with my hand. It has this clockwise rotation right here, which means a lot of our air is coming from out here in eastern Texas, which is much drier. So that blocking mechanism, along with the fact that we're in a massive ridge, is a main driver in this forecast. But this low, this will provide some brief relief, and you can already see where it's trending. Moving back into the Gulf, not expecting it to be a tropical anything, but what it will be is circulating in a little bit of that moisture and hopefully breaking the heat dome, the heat bubble that we're in, and finally getting some relief heading into parts of our weekend and maybe early next week. But those rain chances, they are not high. Still very isolated in nature. Going to expand things out once again so we can just go through this on a broader level, being that the only chances of rainfall we'll see is out there in the southeast. So by 10 p.m., that's really where we expect those rain chances to remain. Some of those do try to trickle into northwest Alabama, but again, that's just a big stretch. And North Mississippi definitely staying on the drier side. You can see as we move into 8 a.m. Wednesday, a lot of that moisture being pushed into the Gulf, that low moving into the Gulf, and some of those storms getting a little bit dicey again. Not expecting severe weather, but definitely going to be a little bit more intense than your average thunderstorm. So folks down at the beach right now, I know you had that little bit of dry weather, but unfortunately that active pattern picks back up again for your Wednesday. But for here in North Mississippi, nothing active about it other than those temperatures ramping up. As we take a look towards the afternoon, 97 degrees, that's a low point for some of our forecasts. Those temperatures getting even higher than that for a lot of locations here in North Mississippi. And that's one of the things we'll be walking through here in the next 60 is exactly what temperatures to expect, how long that heat sticks around for, and when those next chances of rain move in. All of that coming up on Mississippi Live Weather in the next minute.
We're not just roofers, we're licensed contractors. Local, trusted, backed by hundreds of 5-star reviews from your neighbors.
We don't cut corners, only complete systems with premium warranties. And we keep you informed every step of the way.
We're detailed, thorough, and clean, and we make it affordable. With financing available as low as 0% and same as cash plans. We're not just roofing houses, we're earning trust one neighbor at a time. Call Absolute Restoration.
For more than 100 years, First Choice Bank has provided dedicated community banking to North Mississippi. The banking products and services you need when you need them. At First Choice, you're our priority. Make First Choice your choice for banking.
As a nurse, I've seen a lot of people with sleep deprivation. It affects their job, their home life. At Room to Room, we want to take the guesswork out of buying a mattress, and that's why we brought in this technology. It shows you what you need. We want to do the assessment and find exactly what's perfect for you.
Well, hello once again from Bouchard Gardens here in Victoria, Canada. I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Waupon as we're looking at what has just been an absolutely spectacular view here of some of the amazing flowers and, well, let's be honest, just very picturesque gardens here at this location. We showed you the Rose Garden, the Sunken Garden yesterday, just the, I don't know if you want to call it general gardens or grounds, just absolutely beautiful. I'm right next to what they call the Star Garden here, and in just every direction you look, it is, I think, a master gardener's paradise. Certainly it is a beautiful view once again here. We're going to be in Victoria, Canada once again for today as we continue to kind of see some of the historic sites around here as well. But certainly we feel blessed to be able to take in what are just in what we should call the Italian garden here. Just kind of a beautiful look at all the different flowers. The residence behind me there, where Mrs. Bouchard a century ago lived and just decided to start gardening, had professional gardeners help her out, and the grounds you see behind us are the result of certainly that desire to beautify her own environment. So kind of, I guess, a good idea of what maybe all of us should consider. Certainly the Law Pond House will take a long time to ever get here, probably your house as well. From Victoria, Canada, I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lawpond reporting here from Mississippi Live Weather.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
I just love the fact that in those videos now, Matt is wearing short sleeves, showing that it's at least a bit warmer. Nothing like what we're seeing down here. So when Matt comes back, welcome to the heat. Yes, Mississippi, we've missed you and welcome back. You're going to be sweating by the afternoon. But taking a look across the region, I mean, we're not seeing an ounce of showers. And I do want to say there was someone in the chat on our YouTube stream that's name is Southern Summer Rain. Where are you? We need it. We need the rainfall. We need that relief. And so it's just ironic. I just saw that name and I was like, yeah, we're not getting any summer rain right here in the south. So a lot of us staying dry. Now where it's not dry is out there towards Alabama, hogging a good bit of that rainfall. And so their rain-cooled air looks 10 times better than what we're getting over here. Still looking on that broad scale. The thing is with these showers, and I've been putting this, not enough emphasis on this, is the fact that there have been some severe storms. So the good thing of us not getting rainfall is we're not getting this active pattern where some of these could be on the stronger side. We've remained calm, which of course comes with hotter temperatures, but the rainfall, it's definitely an active pattern. And so that's level 1 severe weather risk still in place for further south and east of where we sit here in North Mississippi. But yeah, even a few severe thunderstorm warnings being issued outside of this severe weather risk. So be fortunate that we were just on the outskirts of this, not going to see any severe weather heading overnight, but we'll take a shower, right? So temperatures across the region, we were talking about 99 in New Albany, now cooling off to a balmy 98. Still 95 Boonville and Corinth, 95 in Amory, 94 over and around Tupelo. The further out south and west you go, 97 Belzona, Cleveland, Clarksdale. So it's going to be a hot, muggy forecast no matter where you're at. Emphasis on the mugginess because, I mean, heat indices showing 111 Iuka, 110 South Haven, 109 Cleveland. Really where you see those purples, that's going to be the areas that are heat advisory plus, meaning that it's even hotter than 105 for a lot of locations. So that's why the heat advisories were in place today. Those heat indices get even worse tomorrow, and that's going to see those heat advisories transition more into extreme heat warnings. So if you weren't staying hydrated enough today, please make sure to do so tomorrow. And of course, take frequent breaks. Stay as cool as you can in any way possible. Looking at heat indices across the region, this is what we talk about with that heat dome, extending as far east as West Alabama and as far west as eastern Texas and Arkansas, Louisiana. So this dome that we're under, it's just bringing in that hot, muggy air, and that's going to be the forecast for today, even for tomorrow and lingering into parts of Thursday. But we'll talk about this more at 6, just what exactly the atmospheric interaction is that's happening. That's going to fortunately move us into a much cooler, better than where we're at pattern moving into the weekend. And so something we can look forward to. We'll walk through all of that setup coming up just here in a couple, should I say, about 45 minutes. But yeah, it's just going to be hot today, the next day, and the day after, so buckle up. There's a look at those extreme heat warnings encompassing all of North Mississippi except for Attala County, but Attala, I would still be prepared. You're basically sandwiched between heat warnings, so go ahead and prepare, stay hydrated, stay cool. An extreme heat watch, something that we have not seen too much this summer down there towards Louisiana and southern Mississippi. So the entire state almost showing up purple because of how hot and how miserable it is. Focusing specifically on us, those northwest counties in Alabama under an extreme or excessive heat advisory because of some chances of moisture that could keep those feels like values just a little bit lower. But out here in North Mississippi where it is dry as a desert right now, I say that, it's a bit of a stretch, but it's definitely dry. that's where we're going to get those extreme heat warnings in place with 105 up to 110 in a lot of locations and even above that for a lot of us. Day planner overnight shows those temperatures finally diminishing. So any plans you've had for your Monday, if you've been putting it off to those cooler conditions, well, 7 p.m. and beyond should be sub 90 for a lot of us. So at least an more enjoyable forecast. Make some late night dinner plans to at least soak in those cooler temperatures. Futurecast throughout our afternoon and evening does show the chance at a few showers. This is hard to believe because this is really the stretch that we're watching for showers and storms to occur. So while Futurecast is showing this possible, I'm not putting a high emphasis on this for any relief or rain-cooled air. But go ahead. You probably have this by now because I've said it so much over the last week. Put the umbrella in the back seat and you'll have it there just in case. But these showers are so isolated that if one were to pop up in North Mississippi, it'll be over with as soon as you turn the windshield wipers on. Into 9 p.m., those showers just continuing to primarily stick out there towards Alabama, and we're not getting any of that rain-cooled or any rain-cooled air or any relief of any sort for our Tuesday afternoon and evening. Wednesday morning, we're waking up to a little bit more of that cloud cover moving in play, and as Wednesday goes on, temperatures will rise and hopefully at least some showers by the afternoon. Low temperatures, we're talking about upper 70s for a lot of locations. This is still above average because usually we start the day around 73. But here's the difference for Wednesday, and this is something to pay attention to, is this frontal boundary. It's definitely further west than where it was showing up yesterday. And so with that, we'll get some, I'm not going to say higher rain chances, but at least some isolated showers definitely possible, or definitely trying to pop up. And so we're tracking that towards our Wednesday afternoon primarily as that frontal boundary lingers over the top of us, but that's all associated with that low that's out in the Gulf as of Wednesday morning. So watching the positioning on that, watching the positioning of this frontal boundary for any possible rain-cooled air that we could be getting. Wednesday afternoon, still showing up with plenty of showers possible, but what we've seen is model outputs be aggressive with those rainfall outputs. So while it's showing showers and showing a good bit of showers, more likely it's going to be a couple rather than several that we'll see over North Mississippi. Still sporadic development through the day, so go ahead and have that rain gear ready because all of North Mississippi is under at least a 20 to 30% chance of seeing those showers and storms occur, but still very isolated, not expecting this to be too impactful. But where one forms with how slow moving it is, it could provide up to a ½ inch in some spots. So going to be brief, heavy downpours. But for a lot of us, still remaining on the drier side, and our temperatures definitely agreeing with that drier forecast, with upper 90s still being forecasted. And Greenville, I'm so sorry that you guys are always getting the triple digits, but 102 down there is your projection. And I would not be surprised if Greenwood, Belzona, Cleveland, Clarksdale were in the triple digits as well, especially if that air turns out to be much drier than what some forecasts are forecasting for. So heat indices right around that 105 to 110 area, but 110 out in the Mississippi Delta for sure, no matter what temperatures you're sitting at. So that's why those heat warnings are in place, because more of those 110s are starting to trickle into the eastern side of our viewing area. So definitely something to look out for, definitely something to prepare for. Stay hydrated and stay cool for your Wednesday as well. Now, overnight Wednesday, some of those showers do still try to linger around, but once that daytime heating is gone, a much calmer forecast moves in place. Thursday morning, we're waking up to dry conditions yet again. Day goes on, and there's a bit of that moisture that's trying to return. Now, this is a day that I'm definitely paying attention to for some showers to try and take place because of the positioning of the low. And this is something we'll go over in more detail at 6, but it's definitely going to be moving in that western direction, circulating in a bit more of that Gulf moisture here to North Mississippi, possibly popping that bubble, popping the dome, and giving us some of that rain-cooled air by Thursday. So temperatures just a bit lower, and a lot of that thanks to some of that rain-cooled air. So something I'm looking forward to and something we'll talk more details about here in the next hour. So high temperatures for your Thursday, still going to be, definitely hot. Greenville still showing triple digits, but more than likely going to be mid to upper 90s rather than straight up upper 90s or triple digits. So that's a better forecast that we can definitely look forward to, and that downward trend does continue into the weekend as well. But heat advisories and heat warnings probably still going to be in effect for your Thursday because it is still that muggy and hot environment. It just might not be as widespread as what we've had the past couple of days. Here's a look at your high temperatures, and we are on the downward slope. We've gone up the roller coaster, and we're about to enjoy the ride down to 92 for your Friday, but then we climb right back up. That hill happens once again, and we're going to be heading into 98 come next week. It seems like the midweek time frame is just going to be the hottest time frame this time of year. And heat indices follow that same trend, again dropping as we head towards Friday. A little bit of relief in place before our next dominant high-pressure system moves in and gives us more of that drier, hot forecast that we'll see for the start of next week. Looking at that 7-day shows exactly that. I know chances aren't overly high, but we're watching that 20% for Wednesday, Thursday and for your Friday, as that has wavered from 20 to 30, even up to 40% at times. But this is where we believe it is right now. But make sure to tune into Mississippi Live Weather at 6 and 10 for updates on those percentages as new forecast models come in. Saturday and Sunday, that's been the heightened chances of rainfall, really for Saturday especially. So we're going to see those showers, those thunderstorms move back in play, and it will also help cool off some of those temperatures. So while it's reading 92, 93 for your Friday and Saturday and 95 for your Sunday, probably going to be more upper 80s in some spots if those showers do line up in the right way. So something to look forward to, especially this far out, but we'll definitely be touching on that in more detail, a little bit more on the atmospheric setup come next weekend, or should I say this weekend, for something to enjoy. And so we'll be walking through that entire forecast. You can do so by having the Mississippi Live Weather app. It's you can go ahead and head to the App Store today. I believe there's a graphic in here, right? Okay, so we're going to pull it up right here, and the QR codes are on the bottom right and left of your screen for your respective devices, and you can get everything from the 24/7 stream. You can get the forecast for hourly or for the next 7 days, and gives you all the information that you need, location by location, not just the overall encompassing North Mississippi forecast. So more detailed look, and of course we'll be live here at 5, 6, and 10 on the app, and all the more reason to download it. More accessible and more information. So make sure to go download it today, and we'll see you here in about 40 minutes walking you through that forecast in more detail, what we're watching the next couple of days, and giving everything you need to know for the next couple of days. Just stay cool, stay hydrated, and we'll see you at 6.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
March 24th, 2023 was a normal Friday. You know, we knew the weather was not good, but we needed to take shelter, and we didn't have shelter. My husband and almost 2-year-old daughter, Ethan and Riley, they did lose their lives in the storm. We're still recovering from it. We'll always be recovering from it. Matt Lawpon cares about the community. He's not just there to collect a paycheck. I feel like Matt Lawpon has proven himself trustworthy